Every major power has its intelligence agencies, right? They're all operating in the shadows, trying to shape the world. But what if a country's intelligence system wasn't just a tool of the state, but the very foundation of its power? That's what we're diving into today, the incredibly complex and powerful world of China's intelligence. And this isn't just a story about spies and secrets. It's about a whole new model of control that's changing our world as we speak.
And this quote, it just nails it. In China, intelligence isn't some separate department. It's a systemic component of control. Think about that for a second. It's woven into the very DNA of the state. It's the central nervous system that the Chinese Communist Party uses to keep its grip on power at home and to expand its influence abroad.
So how on earth does a system like this even work? Well, to really get it, we have to start at the very beginning, with the political foundation. This is like the source code that makes everything else possible, and it's completely different from what we're used to in the West.
It all comes down to this one crucial concept, the party state. See, in most countries, the government and the ruling political party are two different things. Not in China. Nope. There, the Chinese Communist Party and the state are basically fused together. The party is the state. That means every single institution, the military, the courts, and especially the intelligence agencies, they don't work for the country. They work directly for the party.
And that leads us to the single most important rule of the game. The number one mission for all Chinese intelligence is to make sure the CCP survives and stays in absolute control. Period. It's not about some abstract idea of national security. It's about regime security. Every operation, whether it's spying on another country or tracking an activist at home, all of it serves that one ultimate goal.
Okay, so we've established that the party is running the whole show. But who are the actual players on the board? Let's take a look at the main agencies that act as the party's eyes and ears.
You're basically looking at the two heavy hitters here. On one side, you've got the Ministry of State Security, or MSS. It's this powerful hybrid agency, kind of like the CIA for spying abroad and the FBI for cracking down on dissent at home, all rolled into one. On the other side, you have the intelligence wings of the People's Liberation Army, the PLA. Their job is all about military threats, getting the intel they need to win a war. And look closely, they both report directly to the party's top leadership. No ambiguity there.
So, we know who the players are, but their most important and, frankly, most revolutionary work starts right at home. This is where the party's massive intelligence system is pointed inward, designed to manage and control its own population on a scale the world has never seen before.
And it really breaks down into a three-step process. First, you have this insane level of data collection. We're talking facial recognition cameras everywhere, DNA samples, what you're doing online, everything. Second, all that data gets fed into powerful AI algorithms that are designed to predict who might cause trouble before they even do anything. And finally, and this is the scary part, the system actively engineers behavior. This is where you see stuff like the social credit system. If you praise the government, great. If you criticize it, well, you might suddenly find you can't buy a train ticket. It literally turns data into discipline.
All of this brings us to this really key term you need to know: smart authoritarianism. This isn't your grandfather's authoritarianism with secret police knocking on doors in the middle of the night. This is a 21st century high-tech version that fuses technology with state power. The goal isn't just to punish people who step out of line, it's to automate social control so completely that most people won't even think about resisting. But here's the thing. This incredibly powerful, integrated system doesn't just look inward. Not at all. Let's pivot now, because that same machine is used to project the party's power and influence far, far beyond China's borders.
And the toolbox they use for this is huge. You got the stuff you'd probably expect, right? Industrial espionage to steal the latest technology, really sophisticated cyber operations. But it's so much more than that. It's about trying to recruit foreign business leaders and politicians, running political influence campaigns, and even using massive economic projects like the Belt and Road Initiative as a way to gather intelligence and gain strategic footholds all over the world.
So let's step back and look at the big picture. What we have is a system that enforces total control at home while at the same time aggressively pushing its influence abroad. So what does this two-faced model really mean for the future of power? It really is like two sides of the same coin. Internally, the goal is absolute social control, and the method is surveillance and data. Externally, the goal is global influence, and the method is espionage and tech acquisition. But here's the key takeaway. They are not separate operations. It's all part of the same machine, all driven by the same engine, and all serving that same ultimate purpose, to guarantee the long-term dominance of the Chinese Communist Party.
And this all leaves us with a massive and pretty unsettling question. We've just walked through a model where technology and state power are becoming one and the same, creating an unbelievably effective system of control. So as this model gets more refined and maybe even gets exported to other countries, what does that mean for the rest of us? For our ideas of privacy, of freedom? What does it mean for the very future of how our world is run?